A man walking on the street suddenly shouted to warn. He rushed over to the girl and picked her up when a car was reversing. The girl didn't understand what was going on, so she turned around and hit the guy. The guy then continued to run out and tried to stop the car that was not braking. He quickly ran to the top and pulled the brake to stop the car. The owner of the car, thinking he was stealing, then ran over and hit him in the face. The man fell to the ground after being beaten. He held his stomach and started to get up slowly to explain to the owner of the car. He said the car didn't brake and was drifting away without anyone. The owner still didn't believe him and scolded him and continued to beat him. He continued to curse at the man who silently helped him after hitting him. The girl driving the scooter stuck in the sewer and the man passes by. After seeing the trapped girl that he turned back to look. He asked the girl why he was stuck in the sewer and kept watching. He fidgeted and started trying to lift the car so the girl could pull her legs out. But then it didn't seem to work and he left before the girl's cry for help. The girl kept waving to the guy but it didn't work and behind the girl came forward. She saw the girl whose leg was stuck by the scooter with the drain. She put her bag on the ground and approached and pulled the car up. The girl slowly straightened up and both of them pushed the cart out of the manhole. The girl gently asked the owner of the scooter after the car got out of the sewer. She thanked the girl, then took the scooter away. After the girl left with her scooter, the girl in the new dress approached the sewer. She sat down and crouched down and reached for the manhole cover below. She lifted the very heavy manhole cover on top, then placed it on the ground. Then she lifted up from the bottom of the drain a very large blue cloth bag. She pulled the bag and put it on top and slowly put the manhole cover back in place. After putting the manhole cover back in place, she took the trash bag and slowly left. This man is holding a bag of food approaching and feeding the old lady beggar. He came back and withdrew the money and put it in the basket for the old woman after leaving. The old woman bowed her head in thanks and the man left. Another guy is approaching but takes the old woman's money instead of giving her money, and he quickly left when no one noticed him. Another man is approaching and has bent down to help the old woman sit up. He tidied up the food bag for the old woman and helped her sit up. Because she lost both hands, that the old woman's movements were extremely difficult to move. The man slowly sat down and peeled fruit for the old woman to eat. He was very patient and waited for the old woman to finish each bite before continuing. After the old woman finished eating, he took his water bottle and opened it. After opening the bottle of water, he gives it to the old woman to drink slowly to quench thirst. The old woman drank continuously because she hadn't had a drink in a long time and felt thirsty. Then he stood up and made the old woman sit upright. He hugged the old woman's waist and helped her stand up, then went around to the front and touched the old woman's sleeves. Turns out she was a disabled person who had lost her arms. He turned around and opened the trunk and looked in his briefcase. After, he took out some money from his briefcase and put it in the bag next to him. He took the bag and walked over to the old woman and began to collect her things below. The fruit bag and the water bottle were all neatly placed in the bag he was holding in his hand. Then he was about to lift it, then put it down and take out the red rope. He tied the rope to the bag so that the old woman could easily carry it. He tied the ends of the red string to its two straps. It was completed and he put the bag he made on the old woman's neck after slowly tying it. The old woman turned and slowly left after putting the bag on her neck. There are two bad guys who knocked the mother out in the street and kidnapped the child. A man driving by witnessed the whole thing and saw them leaving with the baby. He slowly approached them and after meeting them pretended to be a rental driver. The leader, when talking, is quite wary with the man. While talking, he kept looking sideways to see if anyone was looking. The man still very patiently invited him to ride his car, and it seems the junior has already passed. The junior convinced the leader that going by car would make it faster. Both men, when they first got into the car, that urged the man to quickly move out of there. The man reassured them and told them to leave and making the two guys very happy. When he turned the car key, he deliberately turned it over and over, making the car look like it was. He said he needed to push the car to start the car and the leader was on alert. But in the end he and his juniors got off the car and was about to push the car. When the two guys left the baby in the car and didn't notice, the man quickly drove away.